Okay. Joe Allen, please address the newly released field poll, which showed lack of support for many of the essential fiscal reforms.
I'd be happy to take that one. I wrote about it in Calitics this morning, as did Brian. The people of California do not right now, they're not where we want them to be, according to the polls. Now, that doesn't mean you don't go out there and lead for change. What we need is a clear vision of how to fix California, how to renew the California dream. This dream, you know, when I was born and raised here in California, the dream that you're taught you're going to inherit. Or if you move to California, the dream you think you're moving here to live. And you get here, and it's not like that at all. California's a broken state. It just doesn't work anymore. The way we fix these problems isn't by looking at a poll and saying, doesn't look good for us right now. You look at that poll and say, okay, this is where we need to go. These structural reforms need to be part of a broader vision for California. We need to show Californians that the two-thirds rule is what stands between them and universal health care. It's what stands between them and a working educational system. It's what stands between their children and a good college education. It's what stands between them and getting out of that damn traffic on whether it's 101 or the 405 or wherever it is in the state you're in. We need to change how we talk about structural problems in this state. You know, I think we all here can talk about the structural problems that need to be fixed, and I've been doing that, you know, for the last year and a half. And what I've come to learn is that you're never going to get Californians to support fixing these structural change by talking about the need to do structural change. I think we need to unfold that within a larger vision for where we take the state. I look at healthcare for an example. Very few Americans, maybe very few of us who are more politically engaged, knew what some of you may have known filibuster was. Very few people may have known what reconciliation is in the Senate. A lot of people know what reconciliation in the U.S. Senate is, where you can pass a budget bill by a simple majority getting around the cloture rule. People know now how the U.S. Senate works and how it fails to work because they really desperately want health care reform to pass. We need to create that same desire in the people of California. We need to get them to desperately want a state that works again. And I think that desire is there. If you look at the field poll, one of the things that stood out to me wasn't the fact that they're not quite where I want them to be on two-thirds rule for revenue. What stood out to me is they want change. And they need to see that they can accomplish change, that change can be done in a way that will give them the things they want. They want universal health care. They want jobs. They want education. Right? They want to make sure that their parents are going to be taken care of when they're old, that their children will be taken care of when they're young, that they'll be taken care of if they get sick. That's how we need to produce a structural change, by showing Californians that the broken system in their state is what stands between them and their dreams.
Very good. If you look at a poll question is like an initiative question. What do you think about the two-thirds vote rule? 70% of Californians think, hell yeah, love it. Don't want to give those legislators any more authority to put their hand in my pocket. If you ask a voter, what do you think about the two-thirds vote rule, if you know that there are only 3 states in the union that have this requirement, and 2 of them have built-in supermajorities from one party or the other, that California is the only state that has it and does not have that supermajority. We're the only state that is handcuffed in that way. How would you feel about the two-thirds vote if you knew that it cost the state $9 billion in the last budget cycle? That's a conversation, again, you can have in a constitutional convention. You can impart that knowledge to the people in the room. You can't do that through the initiative process because it's just like a poll question. So as Robert quite correctly pointed out, the people are speaking from a position of great ignorance in large part. They don't understand a lot of the ramifications of the initiatives that they've passed. Initiatives, by and large, are knee-jerk, short-sighted, short-minded responses to situational happenings in California. You know, you have a terrible crime in the papers, and then everybody's shocked, and you get a 3 strikes law the next year that has filled our prisons beyond bursting point. So the initiative process, we know, has many flaws, and it's a very blunt tool in a lot of ways. But a constitutional convention, we think, can get to a lot of these dicey difficult problems and get us and have educated, honest discussions and get us the types of reforms that we need. So.
So I have a question. Sure.